Target population and rationale. The target population that I have been observing are competitive age group swimmers, boys and girls ages 9 through 12 years old. The rationale, the reason why I've chose this group is number one, passionate for competitive swimming. I have direct access to the age group swimmers due to my employment. I would like to expand my instructional toolkit and resources to help these individuals and to have a better understanding of youth sports motivation. Environmental factors that influence youth competitive swimming. The first factor is the physical environment. There is one swim club in the town of Manchester, Tennessee. And within that swim club is a facility which is considered the recreational center. And it's a facility that is built for year-round fitness activities due to their 4 seasons that the community faces every year. So they have indoor basketball, weights, fitness activity classes, indoor play, and also an indoor swimming pool where the Manchester Makos train at. It's conveniently located right in the middle of town, serving the community year round. The second social, or the second factor that influences youth swimming is the social environment. The community supports all sports, and I would say this is a very highly competitive town. The whole town watches youth basketball, high school football, all youth sports, including competitive swimming. It's supported, all supported by families, not only uncles and aunts, grandparents, but the whole family supports physical activity in general. And another factor that influences my population that I study is the friends that they are active with or physically active with when it comes to competitive swimming. The last factor that influences competitive swimmers here is the family culture. So in the town of Manchester, there is a church probably on every corner in town, and so I did a little research on we are in the Bible Belt, according to Tweety. The Bible Belt is a formal cultural term describing families that hold high Christian values and have a stronghold for Republican Party. The region in Manchester has a strong presence of Southern Baptist denomination. And so the Christian value and the family values have greatly influenced sports in this rural town. Before all games, not only in swimming, but also in football and baseball and basketball, they all began with a prayer and then followed by with the national anthem. According to Bounds, the Christian value has influenced the Christian value and sports. There is a correlation between Christian value and competitive sports. Both discipline, and they both show like good sportsmanship and perseverance, and They use it as a vessel to teach kids, like I said, work ethics, discipline, and it also boosts learning um, for new physical skills. So those are the three environmental factors that influence the target population that I'm studying. Psychological influential concepts. Desire to compete. The swimmers are very textbook when it comes to the desire to compete. The competence motivation theory applies to them. Um, they have control how they feel when they can learn a new skill and perform a new skill, which gives them some self-worth. The need for feedback motivates athletes or the swimmers to repeat correct performance. So their coach does a good job by giving them feedback to correct their performance, and that behavior, changing that motivates them to change their behavior, which also benefits in them setting goals for themselves, which also builds confidence. The other thing that motivates these athletes is basically having fun with their friends, swimming with their friends, and being there for their friends. Obviously, between the girls and the boys, the girls have a social aspect. When they swim with each other, they motivate each other, and it's all about the social environment for them. And as for the boy, the environment is competitiveness with one another. Setting goals for competitive swimmers. Here are some examples on how would I set some goals for the competitive swimmers ages 9 through 12. Um, a lot of them would like to qualify for some high competitive swim meets, breaking records. These are definitely outcome goals. And then performance goals would be trying to hit a target time and or learning the correct biomechanics to master breaststroke efficiency or be effective in it. And then the process goals would be basically the journey that it would take to get to increasing stroke efficiency and or applying a race plan strategy for a 200-meter IM. So these are just examples of some goals that the students came up with. I would say athletes. Specific achievement goal strategies. The outcome strategy would be a seasonal training plan. For competitive swimming, it would be a year plan with a high intensity volume, not high intensity, high volume of swimming to build muscle endurance. And then throughout the season, add some intensity and lower the volume. And focusing on targeting goal times or focusing on split times to achieve their outcomes. Performance strategy would be stroke analysis with correction, watching a swimmer swim, giving them feedback, and then giving them drills to correct their stroke. And process strategy would be like distance per stroke training or rehearsing the race strategy weekly in practice before competition. Course concept and biblical theme. 2 Timothy 4:7. I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. As an athlete, you cannot control the race time, the referees, or the skill level of your competition. You can only control your mental attitude, preparation, and effort. Success is knowing you gave it your all. This kind of wraps up the whole course that I took this last 8 weeks. And knowing that you don't have control of the outcome, but you do have control of your attitude, and don't beat yourself up because you did everything you can to prepare yourself. And if you gave 100% and you attend practice, um, and showed up for competition, then we know that you gave it your best shot at competition, and not to worry about the outcome, but that you did your best. Key highlights. One of them is building motivation. My influence on these young athletes is to increase their motivation by being very enthusiastic, excited about what they're going to learn, make it fun, and being there for them, and supporting them and cheering them on from day one all the way to the end of the season. Um, what I feel that I'm good at is showing enthusiasm and encouraging and giving them the confidence that they need to, you know, keep them swimming, because swimming is a tough sport. Also, I've done this in the past, and I loved reading it in the textbook, is changing the environment to increase motivation. So during practice, to create a positive learning environment and rehearsing that at practice, and using practice as a vessel to competition day makes competition so much easier to manage. The other thing I love, or I took from this class, was being an effective coach, um, and practice these skills for young athletes. Rewarding correct technique, giving them positive um, feedback, and again, creating an environment to reduce fear. And what I learned with these athletes, that they had a lot of anxiety, not a lot, but normal anxiety and stress when it came to competition, and I feel that as coaches we could probably do a better job to reduce that, and practice that at practice. And so those are the two highlights that I enjoyed learning in this class.